Hey everyone, ActivesiN here, and today we're gonna talk about the Xbox One X, my thoughts on it, and why I feel like the title says, it confirms my thoughts that I have simply outgrown Xbox consoles. They are no longer for me. But before we begin, it's shameless plug time. So if you do enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button when you're done. Hit the share button, subscribe if you have not done so already. It really helps myself and the channel out. So, let's get going. The long-awaited full reveal of the Xbox One X happened recently at E3. This is a year in the making. Since E3 2016, when Microsoft first teased the 6 teraflop quote-unquote monster, where they touted it as an uncompromised true 4K machine, the most powerful console ever made, they said. Exciting stuff indeed. Fast forward to a few days ago, we see the console, we know what it looks like, we got some games for it, and mind you, during this year, Microsoft consistently reminded us that this console is true 4K, uncompromised, it's a beast. Really hyping up the device to be something special. I knew in the back of my mind that it wasn't going to be what they're claiming. It's a console. But you know, there's hope. It's Microsoft. You know, they have the money, they have the know-how. They can do something like that. But the console was revealed and, well, my initial thoughts were right. It is not a beast. It is not a true 4K uncompromised monster. One day after the reveal of the console, it might have even been the same day actually, and we're already seeing games using checkerboard rendering and upscaling. Now, don't get me wrong. Personally, I have no issue with checkerboard rendering and upscaling. I think they're interesting ways to improve visuals without actually having to have super high-end hardware. I think it's really cool. We can do stuff like that now. But that is not what was promised. That is not what was hyped up for a year and regurgitated by Microsoft. For example, Assassin's Creed Origins, brand new AAA game, uses dynamic scaling and checkerboard rendering. It is not a true 4K game. And on top of that, it struggles to hit 30 frames per second. Gears of War 4, 4K, cool, 30 frames per second. Crackdown 3, 30 frames per second, but it's 4K. Destiny 2, 30 frames per second. I don't even think that one's in 4K. Anthem, 4K. That one might be upscaled. We'll see closer to the launch date. Need for Speed Payback, 4K. But again, just like Anthem and the others, 30 frames per second. That does not sound like a beast to me. That sounds like an Xbox One S that can sometimes output 4K with 4K textures, but sometimes will do 4K upscaling, again with 4K textures. Not a beast. Not what was being told to us to be sold to us. I'm a firm believer that frames per second matter more than visuals. I'll take 1080p 60 over 4K 30 every single day out of the year if you give me that option. Any gamer who plays games honestly should feel this way, as frames per second directly affect your gameplay much more than 4K visuals ever would. 4K visuals are great, absolutely, but they're not as good as having a stable, smooth frame rate of 60 over 30. The Xbox One X has an excellent GPU, 6 teraflops. It's like a customized RX 580, great card. I myself have an RX 470, so it's an even more powerful card than I currently have. But the CPU is a compromise on our uncompromised Scorpio Xbox One X, which seemingly is nothing more than an evolved form of the Jaguar CPU from the Xbox One, PS4, and PS4 Pro. A cutback. Obviously, it's a console. They wanted to hit that $500 point. Something had to give. That thing has a damn 4K Blu-ray player in it. Personally, I would have took the 4K Blu-ray player out, put a better CPU, but hey, that's just me. They went and skimped on the CPU. Maybe that's to help backwards compatibility and working with the standard Xbox One. Who knows the reason, but that's what it is. It's using the same CPU, if not a very similar one. Slightly different variant, who knows, but it's similar, obviously. And that's the bottleneck. You're gonna see a lot of 30 frames per second games, even a racing game. Need for Speed Payback, 30 frames per second on a racing game. We know it can do 60 because Forza 7 does 60, it's 4K 60, and that's great. But that is gonna be the exception, not the rule. 30 frames per second on a premium console, most powerful console in the world, a beast! A beast! A monster, as they say. Unacceptable. The One X is not the console to bring me back to Xbox consoles. I'm good on PC now. Phil Spencer with his Play Anywhere initiative is the best thing he ever did for the Xbox brand, where we have the choice of resolution or frame rate or both, where I can hit my 60 FPS, have a much better experience overall, something the Xbox One X seemingly just is not built to do. So yeah, I have outgrown Xbox consoles, but I'm glad Xbox is still there for me on PC. They've grown up with me. You may feel differently, but as far as I'm concerned, the Xbox One X is not for me. I feel like it's not for anyone, really. To me, it makes more sense just to get an Xbox One S and save $250 and put that towards a bunch of video games. Or go build a PC and get a true superior experience. But either way, I'll continue to support Microsoft through Xbox Play Anywhere titles like Crackdown and Cuphead, which are coming pretty soon. And yeah, I'm glad they have options for people like me who want performance over visuals, because I like playing games, not just looking at them. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me in the comments below. What are your thoughts on the Xbox One X? Have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.